Hey, welcome to the show. Well, to the announcement anyway. All right, so I told you guys I would keep you guys, guys and people. Let's go ahead and start that over. I told everybody that I would keep you in the loop if there was news for any of the games, and there is news now. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump into this. We had, I think, 3 games scheduled at Paintball Central Greensboro this year. There's a lot. That's a lot of games to have scheduled, so this actually works out better. Couple of tournament series that go through Paintball Central dropped their new schedules for next year, and we had some conflicts, so we had to change the dates on the first game at least, and then we got rid of the first game and replaced it with let me rephrase that. We rescheduled the first game for a later date, canceled the second game that was supposed to be around that date, and then we changed the third game's date just a little bit. So let's just go ahead and jump into this. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. As soon as it jumps up, I can share it. All right, here we go. All right, so let's just go ahead and run through this whole thing again. Like you don't know what I'm talking about. Fourth World Productions is who is producing these games. So if you want to find us, like us, share us, comment, follow the page so you can get updates. This is the page you can go to. It's going to have everything updates, all the updates that you need for all the games. We already had a game. Did a show about Secret Invasion. If you want to check that one out, the show is actually on Facebook Live. Well, it was Facebook Live on the Fourth World Productions page on Facebook. It's also on YouTube, the 4WO Shit Show. It's also on Spotify, the same name, the 4WO Shit Show. It's basically says Secret Invasion registration is live! ! And that's pretty much I'm telling you how to register for the game, how to do everything, where the field's at and everything. All the prices are on there. So that's how you figure out this. It's actually went on a gameplay with that one. But anyway, we're not talking about that game right now. We're talking about going to Fourth World Productions on Facebook. Scroll down here, you can say we got featured, or you can go over here to the events page, and we can start looking at different games besides Secret Invasion, which is March 16th at Ball's Paintball Fields in Locust, North Carolina. So after that, the next game up is going to be Endgame. Let's click on that one. All right. So Endgame, this is going to be the page here. It's going to tell you all the information. It's not starting at 6 a.m. I've been having issues trying to change the date on this one. It's going to be like 9 or 10, depending on what time of day we want to start off and get everybody home by. This is where you're going to go to find all the information. You're going to come up here. The About is going to tell you who's doing what, where it's at, and then you can go to discussion. Right now, I don't have much discussion on here. I'm going to start updating all this stuff. The game was scheduled for March 16th, but now it's June 1st. June 1st. It's going to be warmer in June 1st. That's a definite thing, but I don't think it's going to be super hot by June 1st. It's probably one of the last dates that we have that where you actually won't burn to death in North Carolina. So June 1st is going to be in-game. All right, so go back to About here. If you want to register for in-game, you'll come over here and hit Paintball Central, and I'm going to show you guys everything. Since both games are at the same field, I'm just going to go ahead and glance over this part, and then when we get to the next game, I'll go ahead and show you guys how to register and everything. Well, registration is not up yet, but I'll show you where to go whenever registration is open. Hopefully, registration gets open pretty soon. I'm not in charge of that. The field's in charge of when they want to open registration up. I've already asked them to a couple times, and hopefully they'll start getting on it and open up both registrations soon. I don't believe it's going to be a lot of money. It wasn't the last couple games there were not that expensive, so hopefully this will be the same thing. Like I say, I have no control over that either. I don't control prices. I don't control whenever they want to open up the registration. All right, so This is going to be Endgame. It's going to be basically the same thing like last year. It's based upon multiverse. So we're going to go ahead and run that back. But there are going to be some different aspects of the game. Um, Basically, it's going to be red side versus blue side, but we're going to throw some different stuff in there to you. There will be a third faction. I like having third faction to keep everything honest. I don't like having one team just dominate another team, or one team come out and spawn trap another team, and then like, oh, what do we do now? Either you leave them spawn trapped, or you come in and you tell your referees to push people back. No, I'd rather have a third team come out there and be part of the storyline, and then help push that team out of that spawn. So that's why I'm gonna have a third party on all my games. But this is going to be June 1st at Paintball Central in Greensboro. It's actually in Sedalia, but they call it Greensboro. It's right outside Greensboro. I say registration is not going to be that expensive. Paint's not going to be that expensive. I just don't have confirmation on the numbers yet. When you do want to register, click Paintball Central, and I'll show you that when we go to the zombie game. All right, so let's go back to the zombie game. As soon as let's go back. All right, so we're back here where the events are on the Fourth World production page. In-game zombies. Let's go ahead and click on that one. All right, same thing. This one's going to be September 28th. This is the closest we can get to being Halloween season, spooky season as we can. We want to have a spooky season game, which zombies, that's perfect spooky season. We want to be as close to Halloween as we can get without going too deep into like October. October rolls around. There's Folda Gap. There's World Cup, and that takes a lot of players. That's people are traveling all around the country to get these games. They aren't cheap to go to, so we kind of want to give people a buffer zone. Come to this game. It's a cheap game. Go and play. Save your money. You can still go to Folda Gap. You can still go to World Cup. We're not going to sit there and put a game 2 weeks away from Folda Gap, which is 3 weeks away from World Cup, or 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever. We're not going to do that. We're going to give you more time, just to catch up your funds, because we know people spend money at those two events. So we're going to come over here. We're going to look at zombies here. It's just the flyer here. I got new flyers out. I don't know why this one popped up, but anyway. Zombies, in-game zombies is obviously zombie themed. Last year was zombie themed. We I kind of actually I'm gonna say the team did it together. We dumped zombies onto the players without them knowing. We hid the zombies at the top of the field. We told them not to tell anybody. Nobody knew they were up there. I told the team, hey, if somebody asks you to play for them, tell them you guys are playing for the other team or something. Tell them something, or are you not coming? So we let them play for about an hour, and then I just threw the zombies out in the middle of the field. I was expecting a lot of complaints, but a lot of people didn't really mind that at all. They thought it was pretty fun. They kind of expected something to go crazy because it's a zombie game and there were no zombies in the game. And I kind of try to throw curveballs in my game, so they kind of expected something, but they didn't know what it was. So, once again, Paintball Central Greensboro, September 28th, in-game zombies. All right. So if you want to register for zombies or regular in-game, you're going to go to the Fourth World Productions game. You're going to go to events. You're going to find the game you want to register for. Hopefully, you register for all three of them. That would be awesome. Paintball Central. You're going to click on that a little there. It's under the About part. Well, let's go back so I can actually go through this with you. But the discussion, this is where I'm going to be posting all the information about the game. About. This is where you come down, where you go, all right, well, there's people interested right now. Here's the Fourth World Productions. Boom, Paintball Central. You click on that button. All right. This right here is a picture of most of the field. You got the airball field here. You got the mounds field here. You got the pipes here. There's a little city mound field here. It's not City Mountain, it's a hyperball now. There's parking all the way up here, which is close to the spawn. There is actually a woods ball field that goes all the way down here. There's a little bit downhill. There's not much. There's a bunch. If you actually zoom in, you can see all these little bunkers out here. It goes all the way down through here. Stops right about this area here. We'll play probably most of the game there, if not just some of the game. Don't worry about this pond of water. You do not want to get in it. Do not bring a boat. This is not uh, Black Ops. Do not play in this water, or you will regret it. All right. So anyway, this is where a lot of games we played. This area here. There's also fields up here, which I want to incorporate this year more because there's a lot of stuff back here. They used to have a like the invasion of Normandy. They have the beachhead with boats. They used to have that here. There's a hill, which I need to get another picture here. I think I might have to see if I can get somebody to get some more drone footage for us. But there is an embedded hill right here. It's got some bunkers in it. So basically, this is a very good invasion part of the field, going uphill into fighting into bunkers. Like when you come out of tree line, you have coverage, but you're also fighting people that have the high ground advantage, Anakin Skywalker. And they're also embedded in bunkers, so it's kind of hard to put them out there. So if I can incorporate it into the game, I'll try. I like playing that part of the field. It's pretty fun. Back here is if you came to the game last year, where this is the Wicked Woods. We kind of incorporated last year, but it didn't play so well. So we made a call on fly. Well, Lomax did. My head ref, he made a call on the fly. We got rid of that last year. It's real fun to play in. It's real dense. It's a real thin piece of wooded area. There's a tower out there. There's some bunkers. It's real nice to play in. Hopefully I can incorporate that this year. And then if you go to above it, that's where the kill house was. That's the city field that everybody played in for the final battle for the last zombie game. I love that field too. There's a bunch of little houses and everything, a bunch of places to hide. And if you go all the way down this other side, there's actually a church and a graveyard and some more woods. It's real fun playing. Like the woods is fun because there's actually trails back there where you can get lost in, or if you're walking around and you gotta keep yourself covered because you don't know who's coming around the corner at you. And like I say there's a lot more to this field that we can utilize if we get a few more players. That's another thing. And like I'll explain that here in a little bit. But I know for in game last year, because I'm just going to combine both these games together right now because it's at the same field. So for in game last year, well, actually this year, we used the Pipes Field as a special mission. We based it off the Infinity Stones. We did a timed mission here where we did 10 man, and it was pretty much play for 15 minutes. Whoever gets the most points wins the points for the game. That was something that everybody seemed to like because we were incorporating different parts of the field, different game styles. I would like to incorporate this little hyperball field here. It's pretty fun. They did the retro 5-man on it. It's small. It's got bunkers. It's tight quarters. Normally we rope it off so you can't play in it. We let the walk-ons and the parties play it instead. We don't really get on the airball field because it's Paintball Central Greensboro. Everybody's at the airball field. It's a big speedball field. Even though it's only got one field right now, that's the main thing that people know about this field. The mounds, I do believe I'm definitely incorporating that in either Endgame or In-Game Zombies. More likely Endgame because it was fun last year. It was 30 minutes long, so it was way too long. So I'm going to cut it down to like 15 minutes this time. We put a couple flags in the center, and I was giving points every time the flag was touched. No, yeah. And it was pretty much you start on one side, the other team starts on the other side. It's pretty symmetrical here. Put the flags in the center. If you get shot out, you go back to the back, you respawn and come back in. Unlimited respawns. So for 30 minutes, people are just getting wrecked. So I think 15 minutes would be a lot better. But I'm definitely going to try to incorporate it in at least one game. I'm going to try to incorporate the pipes ball field at least one game. Hopefully, we can get a little hybrid ball field in at least one game also. More than likely, not going to use the speedball field. We'll definitely use this big long field here. Well, I would say definitely, but maybe not. It's probably going to use at least one game. If we flip the game and play it this way instead, and we go back to the church, I may not include this part of the field this time. Give everybody something else to look at. Give a different feel. I don't want anybody getting complacent in my games. Now, this is all considering 100 players plus whatever. If we get more than 100 players, I can justify using more of the field at one time. So if you want to play more than one part of the field at one time, if I get 150 players, we can definitely use the woods ball field parts. We can more than likely use the Pikes field at one point. We can more than likely use the Mounds field for our final battle or whatever. If we get 200 players, 250 players, more than that, if we get 200 players, 250 players, I guarantee that we can incorporate this part of the field. We can incorporate this part of the field. We can incorporate the mounds. We can Pouch field and high ball field. Now, there used to be games here back in the day, and I think the biggest one they ever had here was I can't remember the name of the game. It used to be big around here. They don't really play it that much anymore. They had like 450 players. Some of the East Labs came down, and they used the entire field. So if we get more than 250 players, 250, 300 players, we can incorporate the entire field. 300 players, 250 players, 350 players, we can't just sit them on one part of the field because everybody's going to get bored of that. We can't just sit them up here because everybody's going to bored of that. If we get that many players, we can put people everywhere. Basically, I can give you multiple spawn points. Here's a blue spawn point, here's a red spawn point, here's blue, here's red. Go to where you need to play the entire field. I would love to actually play the entire field one last time before this field gets moved to further down the road, 10 minutes down the road to the new field. I would love to send this field off with a great big bang. So if we get 200 players, 250, 300 players, which I don't know if we will or not, I'm not really counting on it. But if we do, either one of the games, both the games, whatever, I will talk to them and I'll get them to incorporate the entire field. And then we can use, if we bring that many players, we can say, hey, we want to use these also at different times of the game, and they'll be fine with it because we're bringing in that many players. Now, if we don't get that many players, if we get 100 players or so, 150 players, 100 players is harder to convince them to let me use the whole field. This is a very, very active field. It's very it's overrun with people all the time. Like people love this field. So the less players I have in the game, the less I can convince them to let me use the entire place. But with that being said, if we have 150 players or less or whatever, we'll do phases. This will be one phase. We'll probably do a second phase here or whatever. That's still good too. We can still work. We can still make that work out, and then we can still use one of these fields for an in game, for a final battle, or a special event or whatever. That'd be great. So that's my spiel on. Let's try to get more players at the game so we can use more of the field. We've played the entire field before back in the day, and it is very fun to play. It's very hard to for the generals to coordinate what they're doing, which makes it even better. So it makes it a game when you take the entire field. It makes it a game where it's hard and you have to work to win. So that's my spiel. No matter what, no matter how many players we get, if we get 300, if we get 100, if we get 50 players, we're going to come out here and give you the best quality product that we can give you. And I believe you will go home tired and with a smile on your face. So that's my spiel on that. All right, let's go. Let's talk about the gameplay. All right, so we'll go ahead and start with zombies since it's already up here. Obviously, there's going to be zombies. I'm not going to keep it a secret this time. You're going to have a red team. You're going to have a blue team. You're going to have a zombie team. Now, the zombie team isn't going to be on the field at all times. The zombie team can't win the game. Well, as of right now, the zombie team can't win the game. We may change it up. Who knows? If we get enough players where we use more of the field, zombies may just be able to win the game. I think that would be a fun little twist of the game. We'll keep that in the back pocket for now, though. So you're gonna have a red team, you're gonna have a blue team, you're gonna have a green team. Now, if we do it where zombies can win, that's just gonna be 3 teams playing against each other, and you guys can make alliances with whoever. You guys can break alliances. You guys can just we're both getting our butt kicked by the red team, so let's team up and kick their butts for a little bit. Oh, now that we kick their butts, let's fight each other. That may be how that theme goes. If not, we're going to use them as general producer's discretion, where I'll let them come out in the field and play at certain times. They have free range to play, but the zombie captain is going to have a radio with me, and if somebody gets spawn trapped or if some place needs to be cleared out, I'm gonna hey zombie general, I need you to go to the blue spawn and kick the crap out of the red team and get them out of that spawn. And then the zombies go in, they'll kick them out, and same thing. So I'm really liking the idea of making the zombies a third team that can win. I think that might be the best option right now. So let me mull this over for a while. Let's go back to the regular in game. Anyway, September 28th at Pinball Central Greensboro. Whenever registration opens, I'll do another video showing everybody how to register for all 3 games. Let's go back to regular in game. It says multiverse because it's all about multiverse. Anyway, go back to Pinball. I didn't even show you how to register when you get to it. So this right here is Paintball Central Park here. And let's see, there should be a link here, which I cannot find for some reason. That's weird. All right, here we go. I don't know why it pulled up a different. This is Greenville. Never mind. That's weird. Well, I'm in the wrong place for it. Greensboro should honestly have a link, which they don't for some reason. I don't get it. Let's try this again. Let's try this again real fast. Type in Paintball Central. Let's bring up Greenville for. We'll having technical difficulties here with the web page. Let's do Paintball Central. And I don't even. It's not even bring up pages. What's up with that? Let's see here. Well then, technical difficulty on every video I do is not going to something good apparently. I'm not sure why it's wanting people to Greenville for. But we're going to go ahead and try this again. Paintball Central. We'll go to pages. Paintball Central right here. Should be the top one up here. It has 9. Okay, it's not the top one. It has 9,500 followers. That is going to be the right Paintball Central. Yes, it is. All right. So www, which everybody knows that, pballcentral.com. It also works under paintballcentral.com. It's weird. So whenever you're ready to sign up for the game, you're gonna hit that link on the event page, which I'm gonna change the link on it. You're gonna hit this little button right here, takes you to Paintball Central. All right. They may put it under events, like they have this one. It's gonna say like this is a 10S that's next weekend. It'll sit there and say, hey, here you go. This is how you register. This one's closed, so you can't register for it. If it's not under events, then you will go back to the page and you will go to got sign waiver. Anyway, book a party. Book now. And then you will find the date of the game. So you will go to June 1st. You click on there and it'll pop up on the side here. Hey, register for blue team, register for red team, register for green team, whatever. This is where everything's going to be. these premium rental package and base rental package, they'll still be on there. They'll be lower down. You can actually register for the game. And if you don't have your own gear, you can purchase your own gear here too. So whenever they actually load the games up, this is where you'll find it. It'll either be under calendar, you have to go to the date, or you can go to the events page. It'll show you where events are at. So wow. It says PBC Park Greenville and it's showing Greensboro. That's weird. So let's go back to this. All right. And there's a charity in Greenville on the 17th if anybody's interested. So anyway, let's talk about Endgame. All right, multiverse style again. We're gonna have Infinity Stones in the game. We're gonna have some printed up. More than likely, we're gonna have somewhere. If you find them, you can take them home, and it'll be a nice little souvenir for the game. Basically, same thing as every game ever existed. You're gonna have a red team versus a blue team. You're gonna be fighting for control of slapsticks like every one of the games. You're gonna be trying to find Infinity Stones so that you can complete your gauntlet and win the game. So there will be props everywhere. Well, not everywhere. There will be props. There will be Infinity Stones to find, and that's basically how you're going to win the game. They're going to be easy to find because you have to win. You have to get certain stones to actually win. But they'll be worth points. Maybe we'll do a penalty if you won the game but you didn't find all the stones and the losing team found all the stones. We may do a penalty of a certain amount of points, and then who knows, if you didn't find them all and they did, you may lose the game. So it's gonna be in your best interest to find all the stones and all the props. So once we got that out of the way, it's going to be red versus blue with a third party. So the third party is going to be the TVA. If you've been watching the Loki series, you know who the TVA is. So basically, we're doing the whole multiverse theories thing, and TVA is going to come in there and make sure you're not messing up the timeline. They will be under general's discretion, producer's discretion. They will come in and clear out spawns if I need them. They'll be part of missions. Basically, hey, TVA, go take over this base, that base. Go to the middle of the field and just stand there until they wipe you out. It's gonna be stuff like that. They're gonna be able to free roam. Maybe they'll help you out. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just hang out and watch people play. But that's how we're going to do it. That's how we're going to do it in the regular in game. No frills. Like it's every one of the games you're gonna win on the field. You can't win off the field. If you want to win the game, you're going to be shooting. Your people are going to be shooting. Find some props, but there's no puzzles in the parking lot. There's nothing like that. So we still got a little time before this game. Like I said, once again, the more players that show up, the more players that pre-reg, the more the field we can see, the more the field we can play at. All right, so this is gonna be the end of this video. I will update you whenever I get generals. I've got half the generals already. I'll update you when all the generals are selected. I'll update you whenever we figure out what part of the field we're going to use for what game. And then I'll update you the game flow, who's going to do what. If the zombies are eligible to win the game, I'll update that too. We're going to go with if more people start pre-regging and I'm going to open the field up, I'll do another video of that. And more than likely, once I get the general selected, about a month away from the game, I'll have them on the show, and we will talk about it and let you know who does what, and you can I want to play for that guy. So anyway, thank you for watching the show. I appreciate you coming out to the games. Hopefully, I can see you guys at all three of my games, which would be awesome. If not, I'll see you somewhere. All right, thank you guys.